Hang
I don't know
on.
exactly how these things start or whatever. I know our head coach, Rhett Lasley, lost his voice somewhere in the second quarter. And so he's down to a whisper right now, so that's why I'm up here. We just opening up for questions. Rock and roll.
Obviously, had the fumble on the first drive.
Yes.
Then a punt or two, but I mean, once the offense got going, it really didn't stop. Just how big was that for this team to really see that consistency?
Yeah, that was a big deal. After last week, obviously, with all the 3 and outs that we had and what did we combine for 20 punts in that last game? That was really big. It was a point of emphasis all week. That we wanted to start fast, and we didn't do that. So credit to the kids for not, just kind of getting down after did we go 3 and out first 2 drives? I think maybe, or did we get a first down? I don't know. We did get a first down. But I think it was the catalyst, I think might have been Curley's catch over the middle, the contested catch, which that was another point of emphasis that we had, felt like we left too many of those out in the East Carolina game. Didn't come down with them, and Curley got us started. So, yeah, that was really good to see. And, I think that was pretty much close to, a complete game that we've played this year.
In a game this lopsided, obviously you dominated pretty much all the stats. What did you find most impressive?
The thing I found most impressive is we came in at halftime, and, obviously Coach couldn't talk. So I addressed the team, and I talked to him about, the first half. I don't know, it just didn't sit right with me. We left too many plays out there. We didn't play, complete all 3 phases. We challenged them, talked about not being satisfied, that all 3 sides of the ball needed to go out and prove themselves. There were still things to prove in that second half. And what did we do? Come out, defense stops them, straight 3 and out. We go punt. We return the punt for a touchdown. Junior did a great job, and probably that punt return for the touchdown is kind of like everybody on the sideline. It just gassed everybody up, juiced them up, man. It was great to see that we went out there and did what we actually came together in the locker room and talked about doing in the second half, and that was finishing, not having any let up whatsoever. We were on national TV, and we knew that a lot of teams were, sitting around at their dinner time watching our game, all right, across the country, and we wanted to represent SMU in the light that we wanted to portray. When that was to be tough, finish, relentless.
For better or worse, a lot of the offensive struggles have fallen on Preston's shoulders throughout the season. But for him to go out 3 quarters, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, and cap it off that rushing touchdown, how big is that for him?
Yeah, that was huge. And we left 2 touchdowns out there, I know, that we didn't come down with, that he put absolutely perfect, perfect. And so, I think he got a lot of confidence. Matter of fact, as soon as the game was over, I hugged him and I said, man, that was your best game of the year.
You were already down a couple of guys in the secondary, and a couple of guys got dinged early. I know you're not working with the defensive staff, but how much conversation was there among the coaching staff and any adjustments made to, I guess, accommodate for the thinner ranks in the secondary?
Yeah, that is, like you pointed out, I'm not privy to those conversations, just being on the offensive side of the ball, not being the head coach, but might be something to ask somebody else. But one of the things I just wanted to point out that was really amazing, that was the largest road shutout that we have had since 1978. So that's a long time. And first back-to-back road victory since 1984, I believe. All right. But check this out. Temple was 0 for 12 third down conversions. So they did something right over on that side of the ball. That's, I don't know if I've ever been a part of that. That was amazing.
I'm surprised. Temple, I know they're down a little bit this year, but to come in here and just destroy them like this.
I watched them play on film, and, Coach has done an amazing job of getting these guys. They played hard on film. I watched them play, North Texas. The score may not have been what they wanted, but they represent themselves really well on film as hard as they play, and they're physical. We expected this to be kind of like an East Carolina game going down to the fourth quarter, and it was going to be tough, and it was a road game. And so, yeah, I'm kind of surprised that happened.
Did you and your staff, having gone on back-to-back road games, did you and your staff do anything different to prepare your guys for going on the road in consecutive weeks after what you did last week and then having to repeat it?
Yeah, we did. We shortened practice a little bit and kind of got them off their feet. We met a little bit more in shortened practice, a couple periods here and there. We wanted to get them fresh because, we got in at 4 o'clock in the morning last week, and we're going to get in at 4 o'clock in the morning again tomorrow morning, right? So we shortened practice down a little bit.
Seemed like Jordan Hudson, continues to make plays, obviously, but it seemed like he was maybe involved a little bit more this game. Just how big is that for him to continue to make those progressions, to put himself in position to then make the plays he's capable of?
Yes, absolutely. And as you know, he's our biggest, most physical type looking guy, and he's going to be an amazing player. And it's going to take a little while. Always for transfers, it seems like it takes a year as these guys get in here to get used to the coaching, to get used to the offense and the routine of how this team works, on a weekly basis. And then you got school and all that stuff. And he had been kind of like getting a little overwhelmed with a little bit of that stuff. And now he's getting in a routine and he understands what's coming every week. And he had his best week of practice this week. I went in and told the wide receiver room this past week, I said, we have no starters anymore. So whoever practices the best is going to play. And, man, let me tell you, those guys, they really practiced extremely hard this week and wanted to prove themselves. And so he went out in the game and did it.
So what message did the country get who's watching? What is it that they...
I hope that we represent, the university with class, but also that we're relentless. We are, what they call in baseball a really hard out, right? We're going to be in there for the long haul. We play really hard and physical, and we're going to play for 4 quarters. I hope that's what they saw, because that's what we talked about at halftime of what we wanted to portray across the country.
A week ago, Coach Lashley was talked about the offense being fine in the first and fourth quarter at East Carolina and then bogging down in the middle. How much did you and the staff talk about staying consistent through all 4, even when you had that big lead?
Yes, absolutely. And, it's a little funny sometimes, when I was the offensive coordinator at Arizona State, we had a problem in the third quarter. And what was weird was after every game, the more we talked about it, it seemed like the worse we got. So sometimes that can work against you if you put a lot of emphasis on something that is kind of a negative. And so there's a fine line there. You don't want to talk about it too much, but I think everything comes down to how you approach practice on a daily basis. And we split practice up to where we have almost like a first half of practice, and then we come together and we have a period, and then after that period, we kind of talk about, okay, this is the second half, and the kids, did a great job in practice all week in that.
And then just with having a bye week, Thursday night road game, Friday night road game, finally a Saturday home game.
Oh, wow, yeah.
How do you kind of make sure that maybe there isn't a relaxing because it's quote unquote normal going now into this week?
Well, I think we're getting to that point where they see the light at the end of the tunnel of what they can accomplish, right? And I think, they see that we got 5 games to do what we want to do. And the only way we're going to do that, though, is you have to go week by week. I know that sounds cliche, but you have to do whatever it takes. I tell my players all the time, once the game starts, I don't care who catches the ball. I don't care who scores the touchdown. All that matters in those 3 hours when that last second goes off the clock, that we win the game. That is it. And I think our kids have embraced that. They really have. We good? All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. By the way, I coached at 6 years.
What's your 1998